this is our third class.
I'm listening.
That is our third class. Yeah,
Yes.
but I like the way you still go back and bring everybody along.
Exactly.
So if by the time we try it 1, 2, 3 times, we'll get hands-on on it.
Okay, sir.
But the videos from the first class have not been available. So if from the first and second one, we practice.
Yes, sir. The video from the first class is not available because at that time we're using Google Meet. We didn't record it. But from the second class, definitely.
Okay, but this the second one.
Second and
so
this
today
one
is Friday.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Today is Friday.
Yes.
I would prefer that tomorrow being Saturday, Sunday before Monday. Let us follow you on this. Like the way I do my own, I'm using my phone for the Zoom meeting. Then my laptop is for practice.
Okay, I understand.
So that tomorrow morning, the whole Saturday and Sunday, we can practice. We'll do a lot of things several times before Monday, so that all of us can be on the same page by Monday.
All right, sir. All right, sir.
So my appeal is just for you to help us with that video.
Definitely, it's available. I will hand it over to the media team to post it here.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I think we can continue now, right? Hello, guys. Can we continue?
Yeah, sure we can. I'm here already. Sir.
Okay. Some people are still...
Yes, we can.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Okay, so this is where we stop before the other link finished. So yeah, we talk about class, and now we want to talk about ideas, right? So
sorry, please. Sorry, please, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
And I just want to notify the house that those of you that are just entering, please try and mute your mic. You can see Mr. Godwin Oche, your mic is still on. And Aladi Agbo.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys. We talked about class, and we said that class can be multiple in a page, but one thing that cannot be more than one in a page is ID. And this page that we are referring to here is not a page like a home page, about us page, or a session is what we refer to as a page, right? Session. Like for example, you have a desk in your office. There are sessions for computer, session for your handbag or mobile phones or wallets, sessions for your teacup, session for all of these on a desktop, on a desk in your office. And you wouldn't want to just mismanage the space. You want to be very careful in sessionizing it. So that is what we mean by a page in these regards. So an ID can only be one, not two. You're going to look at a page here again, like a family. You know, ID of a parent is just one in a family, right? One family, like my family, Eno's family, is just one Eno. Like the sons of Eno can give birth to other Enos, but in that, they are just going to be Eno, right? And it's just one parent called Eno. That is what we mean here, you know. Another way is, another way to interpret it to you is a unique, a type, you know, like what you want to say, a type of something. When you call that something, then the others, they have to be just queuing behind it. For example, leader, like the leader of Nigeria is a president. The rest now, they come under it. So underneath. So that is what we mean ID here. So that ID can only be one, not two. But classes, yeah, there could be several classes. So the IDs, they are very, very unique. Just one ID in a page. You will understand it better when we start, going further. For example, here, if you see this group of pictures is coming with a div, means division. So you're going to see this as a desk in your office, and you divide them by two. One section is left group, the other one is right group. But I'm not advising you name your ID like that, but I'm just saying. So here you have group 1 and group 2. Just like those days in community junior secondary school, they'll group us into team of athletes, like the White House, the green house, the yellow house, and all of that. That is what we are talking about here. We are being grouped. These pictures, they are grouped into group 1 and group 2. And the group 1 now is called ID. It's given by ID. In as much as there could be several classes in it. And this name, look at it that these are named to reference to in CSS, so that instead of you taking all this code to CSS, when you want to add beauty into it, it's better to just reference it by using this name, So this is a part in HTML that is a bit advanced. Then knowing how to name a class and ID, like I told you the other day, the system I was using studying abroad is I make sure I bring it down to all the names that come from my village. Name of bushes, name of farm, name of stream or river, name of persons, name of tree, name of animals in my language, so that they will not say that I'm plagiarizing. Because coming from that kind of place they come from, names can never be equal. If there was a time I named my file called Ekedegba, and the instructor was like, "What is this?" I say, "It's a name." He said, "What? A name of what?" I say, "A name of a human being." And he was like, "Whoa, really?" I say, "Yeah." But he has never seen that kind of spelling in his life, I'm sure. So you have to be very unique in your system of naming. And for the fact that names are valuable, all are in your front, doesn't mean that you just name them anyhow. You just have to be very brave about the name. For example, you cannot choose a color.
Okay.
Please mute, Mr. Wayne.
Okay, no. I was trying to chip into what you were saying. Sorry.
Okay, sir, go ahead. Yes.
Okay, about this naming thing, I like the illustration you give about Irish potato on the last.
Exactly. Yes.
You said you call it just potato.
Yes. And after all, it's not in the Irish place that we harvested. Why are we calling it Irish?
Yeah. So even that day I was trying to say, but I think I was having network issues. Okay. But for instance, the Irish potato, they call it, I think it's because the origin of where it came from.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm an African. I want to politicize it. I know that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sometimes I have to keep in all these small jokes to make the class interesting. That's why I just.
It's true. Yes, sir. Thank you.
So let us go. Thank you.
So, for example, you cannot say purple container, because time will come in that same container that you've named purple, maybe there is a need for you to reference a color, and you give it the color value of purple. So you begin to see a little bit of conflicts there. And this is a program in a computer. And know very well that the language that computer understand is a machine language, which is just zeros and one. This machine language that the computer understand. But all of this technology assists us to interpret better into the computer. At the end of the day, using the principle of compiler, assembler, and interpreter, this will be translated to the computer into zeros and ones, no matter what technology you use in writing it, being it HTML, CSS, JavaScript, being it Python, Java, C++, Swift, Go, the computer does not care. It must have an understanding of ability to translate it, whatever you've written, into zeros and ones in terms of interpreting it or compiling it or assembling it. That is how the computer works. And this thing is, you cannot just write anyhow you want. The same way you command it, the same way it's going to work for you. So if you command it to crash into a desert, the same way your system or the application you've written will crash into a desert. So those are the things that we may want to be very careful about. And another thing, excuse me. Another thing, there is a use of left and right. If you heard me that I was talking about button left, button right, a button top, button, border left, border right, border top, border button, and all of that stuff. So you may want to be very careful in using like left group, right group, top group. No, these are keywords that we use them in that it has been documented in the technology already. So you wouldn't want to use all of that. So naming is a topic its own that you want to be, learning a bit. Okay, and it brings us to another, a bigger exercise, giving it a class name, right? How to give a class name. So before, in attempt to answer this, because I don't want to be answering the exercise for you every time. Let's go back to our code. Then I will show you how to give a class name and an ID. But here is just class. So let me share our code and I will show you how to give. So for example, this, can you see the code? Hello,
No,
guys.
sir.
Okay, very good.
No, sir.
Is a no?
Okay, it's okay. It's fine now.
Is it a no or yes?
It's okay now. It's okay.
It's okay means you can see.
Bolding it a bit, sir.
Can nobody see this thing?
Bolding it a bit, sir. It's
Okay,
the font
bolding
size,
it.
it's smaller than it.
Okay. Bolding it a bit like this. So, for example, I want to encompass this thing with a div. Sorry. Let's say, okay, I want to put this here in a div to put these two images. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this long, lengthy. So let me bring it down to this small one. Jet or PG so that it will make more sense. I mean, it will be easy for you to see. So this thing, they are in the div now section. These two images, they are in the div now. So I want to indent it the way that we do it. Yeah, to tell you that they are. So here, can just say class, and you give it a class name. So giving a class name now, let me call it a watcher. I'm calling it a watcher now. This is the class name, right? In this class name now, if I want to write a CSS here in this. For example, I want to write, let me call this one my title is my first web page. Even though we are not doing CSS yet, I want to put a style here. Sorry, this type of CSS, we call it external, in-text CSS. So I want to say, for the way we write a class, every class starts with a period, that is dot, a full stop, then the class name, then a curly bracket, then you give a property to it. So want to give that, want to give it a width of, let's say, just 64 pixels. You're heading somewhere, height of same 64 pixel. Oh, this one pixel, sorry. And I want to give it a background color. We are not here yet. I just want to show you background color. Let me give it a hexadecimal of black. Want to give it a border of 5 pixel as the thickness. I want the border line to be solid, and I want the color. I want the color to be no. Let me just call it powdered blue. So I don't expect you to understand this now, but I want to just know that we have a class called a watcher. For you to give a class name, after giving a class name, for you to apply a property to it, you say period, the class name, curly brackets. This thing we call it curly brackets. Unlike this one, we call them angle bracket. Curly bracket, open and close. The other bracket that we call it parentheses here, programmatically. I will save, then I will run in the browser, then I will stop. I will stop and I will share. I'll stop and I will share. Where is it? Here. Okay, so I'm going to go remove this image so that you see better. This other image. And because I didn't put a display to it, okay, let me just even say one image so that you see very well. Okay, so I'm going to refresh and you see, the image is not there. See how the image is not that one. We move the image for the background. Or the meeting has ended or what? Hello? Saying that the meeting has ended.
Hello. We are
Yeah,
here.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Okay. I say on my side that the
still
meeting
here.
has ended, so I'm like, okay, what is going on?
We can hear you, so just keep talking. Everybody else will know.
Okay,
Is
so
there another meeting for another meeting after this?
okay, yeah. Eh? Is it the
Is
fourth
there
one?
another meeting after this one?
What is the
I
time?
think this is the third one. No?
I think this is is it the third one? This is the
This is the
third one.
fourth.
This is the
Fourth.
Is it the
this is the
fourth?
fourth.
Yes, yes.
This is the third, though.
No,
It's fourth.
want to kill me. It's after 9
Okay.
already.
Number
Okay.
4, number
This
4.
is the fourth, please.
All right, to round up. Let's so please send us the video. Let us practice.
Yeah.
I will make you proud the next one.
Yes,
Maybe
so
next
sorry.
meeting we don't want to teach you the
Yes, sir. So sorry.
Video, please.
Let me share the this thing. Somebody is
The
admitting.
slide.
Okay, let me refresh. Sorry. Okay, now I can share. I was not even sharing anything. Okay. So, okay. I have to go back to it. Why is this thing? Did I not? Okay. Is the size that we've given. The size is smaller than the image, the original image. In that regards, we have to give the image, sorry, the IMG image. If you can see my code, so let's give it a smaller width. If you give this one 64, sorry, just a moment. And the height of 64, then let's increase this our own to 84. 84, yeah. So you see it better. I stop and I will share. And we refresh. See that the image has entered. The background is black. The border is pale. Let me increase it first and you see better. Even though the image looks smaller inside it and is not centralized properly, so I have to justify item center, justify content center, all of that stuff have to come in. But if you can see properly, this black section is the background image, background color. This pale blue is the border. So if I go to the program, to the code and reduce the border, the thickness of the border, then you begin to see all of them reducing. So for example, our border reduced to just 2, that is the thickness. And instead of solid, I'm going to call it dotted. You will see it's being dotted, sorry. Instead of pale blue, I want to make it maybe red. So you begin to see what it looks like. Well, let's make this thing 70 so that it will get close to it a bit. Sorry. If I save and I share, then go back and refresh, you can see if I refresh now, are you seeing it? Is anybody seeing it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Not,
I can see it.
yeah, the one on red is the border. The border now is changed from solid to dotted. There is another style of border, the line, style of line, you should know style of line now. Solid means, solid, dotted, this is the dotted. There is another one called dash, it will make that dash line. And if I go back and reduce the thickness to 1, you see it to be tinier. And to 0.5, that is very small. And then the color, instead of red, you can have ability to change it. You can declare a width, a height for it. So these are all CSS. We are not there yet, but the major thing why we did what we did, we want to tell you that when you have a class name tag to a group, you can reference it from the CSS. That type of CSS that we write in there is called in-text CSS, in the text. There's another type of CSS, we call it inline CSS. You write it in the line. There is the best one, which is the most recommended. The most recommended one is called external CSS. You create a file, then you link it, you know. So all of this, we'll be seeing them. So, just a quick one. So with this now, you should be able to know how to create a class in this example, right? So the question is, you open this thing, you give appropriate class. We have written the code there. All you have to do, know how to give a class name to all the H1, wherever you see H1, to all the P, and to all the divs. For divs, that is the one I just showed you. Then give the blog post appropriate ID. Okay, I'm not showing you how to give ID. It's the same thing the way you give class. So for example, go to our code. If you can see me on our code now, I'm gonna go to this, I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna give it, okay. Here now, I'm going to give it a div. I'm going to close it. Then in this ULO, then I'm going to close the div. I'm going to go back to the div, and I'm going to give it ID. If I say ID, I give it ID name. The other one is the watcher. This one is I'm going to call it, oh, he go to. This is how I name my stuff. There's no way you can find it online. Even the concept too follow. So this is how he go to now. You're going to come into the style. If you see there is, I wrote a style here, you're recognizing it as CSS already. So it's ID. ID is start by a pound sign, then the ID name, or bracket, and then you give the property. So know very well is this one. So let's say, let's declare a width for it. This time now not in pixel, but in percentage. Let's say 25%, only 25%. A background color. We're going to give it, okay, meeting is stopping in 10 minutes. Let's use a hexadecimal of 2D, and let's give a border radius now. Border radius means it's going to turn round. If you make it 50%, you're going to see the effect of it, right? So let me just save it. And then we're going to go back. I'm going to share. I think this is it here. Okay, we're going to refresh. Did you see it? So that color, that background color that I chose, it was green. So what we have to do, it doesn't look good at all, right? So we're going to go back to our code. I'm going to talk to the code a little bit. So we're going to increase this thing to 50. We're going to remove the border radius. It doesn't make any sense. And we're going to change this guy to, let's say, DDD. I think that would be great. Width of 50. Let's declare a height auto. This is the default format. When we save, okay. And let's declare the H1. Let's give it a font size. Font size. to be 40 pixel. We want to text align. Let's center. Test the correction. No, sorry, test transformation rather. Let's make it uppercase. This is going to be capital. Save. We go back to our browser. We share. Okay. If I refresh, let me bring it here like this. Yeah, it looks better. Okay, that is to say, if you remember this session, this is a session that we give that that ID to. What was the name of the ID again? Is it Ohigochu? I think, yeah. That is the session. But because we put text center, H1, all the H1 is reacting. But if you have given a class name differently to this H1, that H1 couldn't have responded. But we brought this H1 into that corridor of that Ohigochu as ID. This will start making sense to you. If you see, it looks a bit beautiful, right? Especially if I go back to reduce the font. If I go back to reduce the font instead of 30 to 20 to 25, I save and I come back to refresh. Come back to refresh and you see it. Yeah. Making sense. Please, who is there? Somebody's at the gate. Yeah. So far, so good. I think we are learning a bit. And I will not say that I'm exhausted, but, but it's been a long evening. And I will give room for you to ask question. Please. Question, please. Here is the code. If you have question, ask. Ask question. Guys, 5 minutes to go. Please ask question. Pastor, sir, want to ask question? Good evening, sir. Sir Godwin. Is it that they cannot hear me? Hello, can you guys hear me? Have I been talking to myself?
No, we can hear you.
Okay.
Please,
I came to Benue and I started teaching for like 2 years here. I noticed that, I'm not saying that everybody's from Benue, but I noticed that if they are confused, they will not talk. Instead of them to say, we don't understand and protest, they will not say anything. Is it that same thing that they are doing to me in the class here? That you people are doing? Is it that you don't understand, like very confused and you know? Talk to me. I'm here for you, please. Hello?
Yes, I think the CSS thing came in too early, or should I say came in too fast?
It's not that the CSS thing came in too early. I told you why I brought that in. I said, I know the chronology of this class, to be honest. I said, for you to start seeing the effect of the class and the ID. I know I've not taught CSS, and that is why I didn't create a standard file. And that is why I have brought it down to this level of style in terms of in-text CSS. So the thing here is know how to use and know how to create class and to use a class, and know how to create ID and how to use it. How to use it here in the class is period, Y here is pound sign. That is it. That forget about. I've not taught you how to give a property with a property value. No, I haven't. I haven't done that. I know that I have not taught CSS, but the class demands that we teach you class name and ID name. That is what I've just done. I just a little bit applied it. So, but I'm sorry if you think that the application went above the class. Question, please. Hello, 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 hello. Question. No question? Okay, Sin. Ask question.
No, sir, you have actually answered it. But why I said came in early was
Mm.
that I think most people now are exhausted, just like you are, and you said
I
you're
am.
tired of the class.
I'm
Yeah,
not eating
so
dinner.
this,
I'm very tired.
this tough part now came in when we are tired. So I guess that's like that.
Okay, don't worry. Okay, don't worry. But can you? I want to leave you with the assignment, and I've seen that you don't like either you don't like or you don't. Is it that you not understand to the extent that you need to do assignments? So instead of doing the assignment directly, I say let me just because there you are going to if you click that link, the code is being written, but you should know which one to give class and which one to give ID name. So,
Okay,
and
then guys, it should not be too hard. The code is already down.
no, the code is down there. If you click on the link, I registered it with my partner BrainHot in the code pen using BrainHot's account. But you don't have to sign up. You just click the link and it will take you to BrainHot's account, and then from there you can see
sir.
the code pen. Yes.
Okay, sir, like the last speaker just spoke, I think all of us, like this particular class today,
Mm,
I told you at some point that I was lost.
yes.
I usually, like I said, I usually practice on, I'm following on my phone, my laptop with me most of the time.
Yes,
But
sir.
as I'm talking, I've been in transit and then I was listening on car audio
Okay.
things. Like we talked about the parents